अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so we're done with our prayers. So this dedicated to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. We have seen his photos, how he went in cargo ship, how he just chanted in the park, one by one people followed, and then he made many into devotees. Then he sent them all over the world, and they did revolution. They even preached to Beatles, and the Beatles, they have spread the holy name across the world actually. Anyhow, so we are discussing about Bhagavad Gita. So we have seen that how Bhagavad Gita is extremely famous literature, and we can also see all of our previous acharyas. Literally every previous acharya commented on Bhagavad Gita, and they said Bhagavad Gita is extremely important, most important literature actually. In simple words, if you have to say, Bhagavad Gita is the manual for life. You take any machine, like you see this machine, so this is a remote control, right? This is my mobile. So be it a mobile or a remote. So whoever is manufacturing this one, this mobile is Samsung mobile, my AC is what, LG, right? So any manufacturer, when they manufacture some machine, some gadget, they would provide some manual. What for? Because they want to explain, this is the purpose of this one, and to serve the purpose the best, you need to follow it in the particular manner. If you follow a particular procedure, then its life cycle will increase, you will get the optimal results. And if you do something else, then vice versa, it wouldn't last long, right? So after all, a small mobile, a small, AC, which is nothing but a thermodynamic subject actually, So there's small things like this. Even further, there is a manual, and further there is a standard operating procedure, do's and don'ts. Then what about this, creation, this universe, and then this human life, and all the species, the mother nature, time domain, and the karma? There's so many factors are there. Such a complicated system, this universe compared to the small AC and all. The climate change automatically. So many things are there. So now what about the creator who did this? Don't you think that he would also? Do you think it came on its own and it has no purpose? Certainly, it must be created and it has a purpose. Now, who would define what is the purpose? And secondly, the one who created it, he would also mention the purpose. He would also mention the standard operating procedure. That is called manual. So Bhagavad Gita is the manual for life, manual for human life, to tell you what is right, what is wrong, how to lead a life, how to be in this world and not of this world. What is the purpose of this world? What for you have come for? What is your relationship with God? These are the questions, $1 million questions nobody would answer, and can answer using your mundane, material intelligence. Because you give some answer, somebody, philosopher will give, you will get a better answer actually. For that, you need to refer to the manual. That manual is the scriptures, especially Bhagavad Gita, right? So the glories of Bhagavad Gita, they are mentioned even in other literatures also, right? In the literatures like in Padma Purana, Lord Shiva personally speaks. It is mentioned there, and that glories, Bhagavad Gita itself is a scripture, and the glories of Bhagavad Gita are there in another scripture. That scripture is called Gita Mahatmya. So I would recite 2 shlokas from Gita Mahatmya to just tell you how Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the scriptures actually. So this shloka is shloka number 6 of Gita Mahatmya. This says, Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat. So it says, this shloka says that it compares the Upanishads to a mother cow, right? All the Upanishads are compared to a mother cow, and just like mother cow, what is the essence of cow? Cow milk. So similarly, from the essence of all the Upanishads, this shloka says, the essence of all the Upanishads is Bhagavad Gita. And from how do you get cow milk? Right, the milkman, he has to kind of, take the milk from cow. So similarly, Lord Krishna is compared to the milkman who takes the essence of the Upanishads, which is Bhagavad Gita. So the milk is Bhagavad Gita, the milkman is Lord Krishna, and the mother cow is the scriptures, and the calf drinks the milk from the mother cow. No? So who is the calf? Calf is compared to Arjuna. The milkman is Krishna, calf is Arjuna, right? And after the calf drinks, we all take the milk, right? And similarly, the same Bhagavad Gita, we are all compared to the pure devotees and the learned scholars. So they take the nectar of the nectar and milk of Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all the Upanishads, right? So this shloka clearly mentions actually Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the literatures actually. And the next shloka is even more emphatic about that. It says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. See, there are some people who are raising their hands. I don't know if they have any questions, something, but I would request, keep the questions, and I would ask you to ask questions. At that time, all of you can ask. So keep it with you for now. Okay. Yeah. So this shloka is even more emphatic about Bhagavad Gita. So this says that Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devo Devaki Putrayava. This says that there be one common scripture. What is the Bhagavad Gita? You don't need to go for many things. It's human life, especially the current generation is such a, just short lifespan, and our brains are completely bombarded with so many other things and all. So for us, somebody who is little interested in spiritual itself is a rare, and for him to understand, the oceanic scriptures and trying to get the essence out of the oceanic scriptures is something not possible actually. So the Shastra themselves say actually that let there be one literature is sufficient. What is that literature? Bhagavad Gita. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Devaki Putra means Krishna. Devaki Putra Gitam means Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's song, the song of love. What is that? Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Let there be one God, just worship one God, that's sufficient. Who is Devaki Putra, Lord Krishna? You just worship Krishna, it's equivalent to worshipping everyone else. Eko mantras tasya namani. You don't have to chant different prayers, different mantras for different purposes. All your purposes will be solved if you take the holy names of Lord Krishna. Sufficient. Eko mantra tasya namani. His names. Karmapyakam tasya devasya seva. Let there be one activity. You don't have to please 100 different things, 100 different names and all. You can just do one activity that would suffice everything, that is serving the Lord. So this shloka is even more emphatic, where it clearly speaks that Bhagavad Gita is itself sufficient for liberation, right? This contains the essence. So you think about it, right? So this was spoken directly by the Lord about himself. About himself, so Bhagavad Gita essentially speaks about 5 subject matters. What are they? Ishvara, which means Supreme Lord. Prakriti, which means Mother Nature. Jiva, which means living entity. Kala, which means time. And Karma, which means karmic reactions actually. So these are the 5 subject matters Bhagavad Gita speaks, and if I talk about it, the entire subjects about anything in this world, any question contained in this world will be one of these 5 subject matters. Who is God? Who is Mother Nature? Who is Jiva? What is the relationship between these 3? God, nature and Jiva, and where does Karma and where does Kala fit in these 3? Kala and Karma, how does it fit in between these 3? So these are the subject matters discussed in Bhagavad Gita. And who is speaking? Krishna himself is speaking. What else authority do you need actually, right? That's Gita, right? So with this introduction, I would like to begin the chapter 1. So as I discussed, the chapter 1 is called Observing the Forces in the Army, in the battlefield. That is in English, but actually the original name is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The name of the chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So this first chapter, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. Every day we'll discuss one chapter. So today will be the first chapter, and the first chapter is actually the real subject matter of Bhagavad Gita will begin from chapter number 2. So chapter number 1 it's more of a prelude to the entire episode. The Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna will start speaking from the chapter number 2. Chapter number 1, Krishna doesn't even start speaking. However, chapter number 1 is important. Although it is a prelude, it is also important because it sets the scene. Because when we talk about Bhagavad Gita as the most important literature, then when was it spoken, for what reason it was spoken, and who are the people involved in that, and what did they accomplish out of it? Naturally, right? And so for everything there's a purpose. So if the literature has come upon, then what is the purpose for that? What is the context? What is the end result? And between whom it happened, and why did that happen? Why that occasion? So that everything will be answered in the first chapter actually. So the first, even beginning, I mean to say, beginning our first chapter, I would give prelude to even the first chapter. See, the first chapter is the prelude for the other 17 chapters, and we also need to know a little bit before the history behind that first chapter also. As you all know, in the Mahabharata, the Kauravas and Pandavas, they are of the same clan. The Pandavas, their father dies, and they take shelter of their elder father, Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra, he is blind by birth, right? That's everyone knows. So he is physically blind, not only physically blind, but he is also morally blind and spiritually blind. You got my point? Dhritarashtra is morally blind and spiritually also blind. Because of that, why? Because he is extremely attached to his son. He knows what his son is doing is absolutely a crap and nonsense, but still he is supporting his son actually. And being the king, he had every power to curtail Duryodhana, but he would not do that. And because of his excessive attachment, what happened? There was a wide gap between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and Pandavas were mistreated. They were sent to Aranyavas. After that, they were sent to Agyatavas, incognito, and Draupadi was disrespected, disrobed, and even then he didn't utter a single word. And when they came back, they didn't even give their property, the kingdom back, And being, the devotees and being, saintly people, the Pandavas, they didn't want to go for a war. They wanted a peace. So they asked for at least 5 villages, because being Kshatriyas, they can't do any other profession, because that would be, a disgrace to their, heritage. Being a Kshatriyas, they're supposed to rule. They asked at least give 5 villages. Let the villages be, even a small villages would be sufficient, would suffice us, But Duryodhana is such a stubborn fellow, stubborn obstinacy we say, such a stubborn fellow, he would not give that also. And after all their peace treaties failed, they had no option but to go for war. Even in that occasion, Yudhishthira Maharaj is not prepared for a war, he would not agree for a war. But Krishna inspires them that, okay, for you, it may be okay to sleep on below a tree, but actually don't think about yourself, think about the bigger good. And so the world will do no good actually if it is under a dharmic rule. So you have to step up, do your duty, and establish dharma. So the Kauravas were ready for fighting, the Pandavas were ready for fighting. It appeared it is a simple family feud, a simple infighting between family members, and that is what outsiders would say. But actually there is a hell and heaven difference between the two. The Kauravas were fighting for themselves, and the Pandavas were doing as a service, as a devotion unto Krishna. So for them that fighting is a devotion, but for Kauravas the fighting is a selfishness. So this thing itself, is all about Bhagavad Gita, if I have to say. So don't work for yourself, but work as a devotion to the Lord. Of course, this will be established over the next 17 days. So what I'm saying is that apparently all the both are fighting and both are the same level, but it is not the same actually. So the motives is what define the sanity of the purpose. And the Pandavas are fighting for Krishna, the Kauravas are fighting for themselves, right? So now both parties assembled in Kurukshetra. That's a land of pilgrimage. And here is Dhritarashtra being blind by birth and being bound by attachment also. He is blind because of excessive attachment of the family. So because of that, Dhritarashtra, he was in this kingdom, in his palace, and his assistant, his servant is Sanjaya. And this Sanjaya is a disciple of Vyasadeva, and he is a extremely advanced person. And he has the capacity, ability, the siddhi, what we call it as, the siddhi to see the live episode in some other place. Like for example, you may be thinking, Prabhu, how is it possible? He's sitting in a palace. How can you say, verbatim what is happening in the battlefield? It is possible. See, today in today's world, some IPL is happening somewhere in Middle East, and we are watching it in our TVs and mobiles. If that is possible, and why not this one? So how is it possible? Because of some satellites, because of signals, some modems and other things, and it is nothing but a manipulation of a matter. The scientists are doing it. So during that time also there is an art, there is science of manipulating the subtle matter. So by manipulating the subtle matter, they could easily communicate actually. There are people who used to have that siddhi. Sanjay is one such. So Sanjay, by sitting in the palace, could speak whatever is happening in the battlefield. Right? So with this as the premise, now we will see the first shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So before I move ahead, anyone has any questions? Because we are now starting the first shloka, but I just want to ask any question I can answer. No, it's clear. I understood it is clear. Voice is clear. That is clear. I speak little fast, and some of you may find it little difficult, but you will get adjusted to me. Okay, they're asking about Mahabharata history. You see, after the incognito, they were supposed to be given that land. See, Pandavas lost it, Indraprastha, but they were supposed to get it back after the incognito if they are not found tracked. So, but then they refused to give it. They were supposed to get it actually. Please give us any PPT given or notes taking is advised. So, I am going to give you the summary sheet of our slide. Like we have a summary. I will give the important slides. I will not give the entire notes. The reason being, I want people to hear the classes. That is the reason we are not showing YouTube also. Because you will understand, once you attend 4 or 5 classes, you will understand how much difference it makes by hearing it live. And I would also encourage all of you just to take little notes, because that will help you in solving the quiz. And that will also help you, to retain your content actually. And if you can, kindly at least browse, both. I will give you a link. Okay, I will give you a link, and you can open the link and you will get all the chapters and shlokas and everything. It takes only 15 to 20 minutes. If you just go through the content, it will help you understand the class better. Okay, so yeah, so now we will begin our first shloka of today. So as I see here, so this is Bhagavad Gita first chapter. It has 42 shlokas, and in this 42 shlokas, we call it as doubt. This is the acronym. We make this kind of acronyms because that will help us to understand the subject. The first section is first 12 shlokas, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. We will see the mindset. So the first chapter will, if we properly study, it will give you a contrast between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Today we will see the contrast, and then we will see the second chapter where Krishna will start speaking. So we will cover all these 5 sections now, right? So let us begin with the first chapter, first shloka. So for those of you who have not ever opened Bhagavad Gita even once in your life, okay, let me see. Let me see. Is there anybody who has never opened Bhagavad Gita? Not even once. Okay, first of all, I request everyone to lower your hands. There are some hands. There are many hands which are still up. But okay. Kindly lower down your hands. I want to ask: is there anyone here who has never opened Bhagavad Gita even once? Okay. Oh, 2 dozen. How many are there? Okay, so 10 to 15. Nice. Honest guys. Fine. So for all of you, so this is the first time. That means you must be reciting a shloka from Bhagavad Gita, and so today will be a memorable day for you. So this is the first chapter, the very first shloka when you open Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So kindly recite after me. Okay. Dhritarashtra uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yuyutsava, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra said, "O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the palace of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do?" So this is the question raised by Dhritarashtra. Now this question, if you carefully read this shloka, this one shloka speaks a lot, a ton, about the mindset of Dhritarashtra, its consciousness. We'll see how. You can see Dhritarashtra's mindset, Duryodhana mindset. Each one is affecting the other person actually. So we'll see what is Dhritarashtra's mindset first. So Dhritarashtra's mindset is what? Doubtful, fearful, and partial. How is it so? Let us see the first one. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. So the place where they assembled is called Kurukshetra, and we all heard the name Kurukshetra, right? It's in Uttar Pradesh. So the Kurukshetra is famous not because of the Mahabharata war. It is famous even before that. Like if you read Mahabharata literature, you can see that the Kauravas, the Pandavas, and even the Yadavas, they all used to timely go to Kurukshetra and used to perform, a lot of rituals and yajnas and the river baths and all those things they used to do. Because that place is a very sacred place, like the way we have the Haridwar and so on and so forth. It was a very holy place, and they choose, the Kauravas and Pandavas chose that holy place for the battle, for the war, right? Now Dhritarashtra, that is why he says Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. So he knows that this place, because it is a holy place, it is Dharmakshetra, which means it promotes dharma. We always hear Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. One who protects dharma will be protected by dharma. Now you need to test it to become convinced of it actually. So this holy place, because it is a Dharmakshetra, it will naturally support people who are dharmic. And Dhritarashtra clearly knows that the dharma is on the side of Pandavas, because of which he is fearful. He is fearful that his sons may lose, right? And he is also doubtful because the place is such a holy place, it may affect the consciousness of my sons or the Pandavas, and they may not go for the war. They may settle for a treaty, peace treaty. Now, see, he is already fearful that his sons may lose because it is a holy place. In such a case, he should be happy if the war doesn't take place, right? But no, this blind man, he wants the war to take place because he wants the entire property to be with his sons. So hope against hope. And any sane father would not like to see his children dig their own grave. But Dhritarashtra is such a father who, let the children dig their own grave actually because of his blind attachment. That is the reason he is blind by birth, but is also blind by attachment actually, bodily attachment, right? So he is fearful, and he is also doubtful, and and is also partial. How is he partial? You can see that, right? He is saying Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. He is telling my sons, the sons of Pandu. He is clearly discriminating. Something is mine, something is other person and all. See, when his father is not there, they are also your sons only. Instead of thinking 100 sons mine, 5 sons there, you could think 105 sons. If you would have thought 105, all 105 would have survived. But then because of his blind attachment, he became the number one reason for the Kurukshetra war. Right? So mentality of me and mine. Somebody is asking what it means by holy influence. You see, for every activity there is a proper place. For example, you want to do meditation. Which place you would prefer? Would you prefer a temple or a riverside, or would you prefer a cricket stadium or a what do they call as nightclubs, or licensed bars? Would you go to a licensed bar and do meditation? Is it possible? No. Same way, can you bring a liquor bottle and come to temple and then drink and get merry? No. So for each activity, a particular place is recommended, because the activity is like that. So similarly, some activities, if you do in some places, you get more strength. The place also plays a role in the result. We will read it in Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes you may not realize it, but actually the place also has a role to play. So the holy place, that place, because it is a punya tirtha, dharma kshetra, it will promote dharma. Okay. Coming back. Now let us see. Okay, fine, no need. Let us see now Duryodhana's mindset. We have seen Dhritarashtra's mindset, right? There are three things. One thing is he is partial, he is fearful, he is also doubtful, right? Now, what about the Duryodhana's mindset? Duryodhana, first thing is he's political, he's diplomatic, he's manipulative. We will see that. So Sanjaya, after Dhritarashtra's question, Sanjaya starts speaking. Sanjaya says, my dear master Dhritarashtra, your son stepped down the chariot. He went to Dronacharya. And addressing Dronacharya, he points at the Pandavas army, the enemy's army, and he starts speaking. So Duryodhana, what he says, the Pandavas, he shows Dronacharya the Pandavas army, and the Pandavas commander-in-chief, the Senapati, the Pandavas commander-in-chief is Drishtadyumna. So, and Drishtadyumna is none other than the brother of Draupadi and the son of Drupada. So Drupada performs a yajna to get a son who would kill Dronacharya. So Dronacharya knows very well this Drishtadyumna would be the cause of his death in the future. But still, when the Drishtadyumna comes to him for learning martial arts, Dronacharya, without any hesitation, teaches martial arts. That's the glory of Dronacharya. That is our Vedic culture. A guru will never reject a disciple, actually. So here Duryodhana, he says, so he now tries to pull down Dronacharya's leg. He tries to point Dronacharya's mistake. He tries to instigate. He tries to irritate. He tries to make Drona feel guilty. He tries to agitate. He tries to provoke the anger of Dronacharya. How? By pointing, look at your disciple. He is your disciple, educated by you, and now he is preparing an army against you. So what he's doing? Because Dronacharya has a natural affection for Pandavas. So he wants to kill that affection. So he wants to instigate the anger in Dronacharya. And he's telling, and also he's telling that, see, you have indiscriminately taught him, and now you see what has happened. So now you should be on my side. So point is, he is trying to make him feel guilty, he's trying to provoke his anger, he's trying to he tries to make the Pandavas bad guys in his eyes, actually. So he is doing all his manipulation. Because he understands, if I don't pinch Dronacharya, if I don't provoke him, Dronacharya may be soft on Pandavas. He may not fight with full vigor on Pandavas. And Duryodhana clearly knows that if Dronacharya doesn't fight his full potential, then they will not be able to defeat Pandavas. Right? So now he does like this and provokes Drona. Then he goes to Bhishma. Then he tells Bhishma that oh, you are a mighty warrior, and he tells everyone that all of you should support Bhishma. And then he tries to inspire all the members of his army. He tells, let's look at the Pandavas. Who are their Atirati Maharathis? Okay, Bhima, Arjuna, and what? Drupada, Virata, and what? Nakula Sahadev. Only handful of people. But look at my army. How many Atirata Maharathis are there? Here is Bhishma, here is Drona, here is Karna, here is Shalya, here is Bhurishrava, here is Kritavarma, here am I, here is Dushashan. So he is Vikarna. So he is going to say, listen, just see, I have more, in modern times, I have more Bahubalis, than the Pandavas. And second thing, Pandavas have 7 phalanxes. Phalanxes means Ashwahuni Sena. Ashwahuni means it's something like 2 lakhs Sena, So Pandavas have 7 Ashwahuni Sena, phalanxes, but Kauravas have 11. So the Kauravas army, the cavalry, the Kauravas army is also 60% more than Pandavas, and Kauravas also have more Atirathis than Pandavas. So he is telling, listen, sir, by all means, We are far more powerful, and for us to defeat this Pandava should be a cakewalk. So this is Duryodhana's entire project report, his analysis. But poor Duryodhana, stupid Duryodhana, he doesn't understand that, okay, his calculations are material calculations, because of which he forgot to take into account the indisposable factor of Lord Krishna. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. So Krishna is there, but he didn't count Krishna into picture actually. And this is typical, this is the mindset of typical materialistic people. See, materialistic people, many times, they have their own calculations. They think, okay, if I read 1 hour Bhagavad Gita, what do I gain? Nothing. But if I do 1 hour, stock trading, I may get some 1,000 rupees, more, or 10,000 rupees more. As if the 1,000 rupees is going to save your life, as if that 1,000 rupees is going to kind of save you from, they're going to make a big empire out of it. So they think that by giving to God either your time or your money, your intelligence, consciousness, it doesn't make a difference. And for them, they don't care for the loss of God, right? They only think about what today and tomorrow. So beg, borrow, steal. That is their philosophy. And Duryodhana also same picture actually. He would think that because I have so much manpower, I have so much money power, I don't have to worry about anything in life. These ISKCON people are already disturbing me. Maybe they want something out of me. That is why they are running behind me. That is the reason they are running behind me. So people, please tell us the disciple name of Dronacharya who is against him. Drishtadyumna. See, all of you should purchase Bhagavad Gita, the entire book set. So this course, we recommend you to have a series of books. There are 3 books that will help you understand this course very better, along with the bead bag, Japmala. The entire package is 500 rupees. All of you can order it. It's a small amount, but this that set of books will very much help you. When I'm teaching, you can also read at home, and your knowledge will be 10 times more, right? Anyhow, so we're talking of the gross materialistic people. So their calculations are different. They think that they don't need God in their life. Because they got a green card, green card holder, they think that they are not going to, the birth or death, they will not affect them. So all these things, the people have their own crazy ideas. So they don't think that God is important in their life, or adding God to their life makes any difference. So Duryodhana is also of the same calculations. For that matter, there is a story before this battle took place, this war took place. So when it was inevitable that war is going to happen, both Kauravas and Pandavas, they go for a treaties with two various people. So they both go to Krishna asking for help. So Duryodhana goes first, and Lord Krishna was taking rest that time. So Duryodhana sat at the head side. And Arjuna came later, and he sat down at the lotus feet of Krishna. And after some time, when Krishna woke up, right, he sees Arjuna and he says, Arjuna, why happy to see you and all. And Duryodhana says, my dear Krishna, even I am here, I came first rather. Krishna said, that's all right, but between, why did you come in between for that matter, Then they both tell the reason. Then Krishna says, listen, both of you have come and both of you are dear to me. So Krishna is not partial, no. So Krishna says, both of you are dear to me. So now I don't want you to support one and not support another person. This is my proposal. So my entire army is on one side, and I will be on the other side. And I'm telling you, I'm making it very clear upfront that I am not going to lift any weapon, right? So I am on one side, the entire army on the other side. And Duryodhana was feeling, come on, when you make a partition, it should be 50-50. But the partition is such that like Krishna alone one side, the entire Krishna's army, Krishna's energy is on another side, Narayani Sena. And he is telling he will not even fight. He will not even carry a weapon. So kya matlab hai? It is something like 1 rupee versus 1 crore rupees. Any sane person would take 1 crore rupees. Na? So Duryodhana was thinking, this is such an unfair deal. So anybody will go for that option. And then Krishna says, so because Arjuna is a younger person, I would like to give Arjuna first chance. And Duryodhana thinks that Krishna is always partial to Pandavas. He says, my dear Krishna, I came for, because he thinks if Arjuna is given a first chance, Arjuna would not automatically choose Krishna's army, Krishna's energy, Krishna's Sena. So Duryodhana stops, he objects. He says, my dear Krishna, I came first. So logically you should give the first opportunity to me. And Krishna says, listen, you may have come first, but then I saw Arjuna first. So first option I want to give to Arjuna. You see, the devotees of the Lord, they always take shelter at the Lord's lotus feet. It's not for no reason, because Lord gives first priority to those who take shelter at his lotus feet. So anyhow, so Arjuna, without any hesitation, he says, Krishna, I just need you. I don't need anything else. You are on my side, and that's sufficient for me. And Duryodhana was thinking, oh, such a bad. But when Arjuna spoke this, he was utter disbelief. He can't believe his ears, what he's heard. So, and a huge joy erupts in his heart. But externally, he puts a sane face, sober face. He says, Krishna, Arjuna has chosen you. What can I do? Fine. I have only your army left, your Sena left. I will be happy with your Sena. So, and he gets up from his seat. He goes back. But then in his heart is, is an extreme joy actually. He's thinking, poor Arjuna, such a sentimental fool. His mind became, dumb. The brain fade bolte hai na? They call it brain fade. He got brain faded, because of which he chose Krishna. Any sane man would not choose Krishna. They would choose Krishna's army. So I am intelligent, Arjuna is a fool. That is Duryodhana's calculations. But what Duryodhana fails to understand is, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. I'll show you that sloka. You see, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurtara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matirmama. So it is clearly mentioned wherever there is Krishna, Supreme Lord, and wherever there is a pure devotee Arjuna. So for such a devotee, there will be, always opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. So that is guaranteed. Of course, Arjuna did not choose Krishna because of these reasons. He chose Krishna because he wants to serve Krishna, and these results are automatically follows, right? Anyhow, we are discussing about Duryodhana's mindset. So what is his mindset? So for a materialistic person, they do not think of God's factor. They don't think God is important in their life. They don't think the spiritual subject matters is anywhere relevant. They have their own calculations how to solve the problems of life. They have their own understandings how to become happy. And Duryodhana has his own understandings. And as a result of that, although he has more army, although he has more Atharathis, Bahubalis, still he is more insecure compared to the Pandavas. We will see that actually. Duryodhana, you see, being a king, he is going to person and requesting them to support, Bhishma and other people. He is doing all that stuff. Why? See, insecure actually. He is internally fearful. Externally he is grave, but internally he is fearful because he is extremely attached. On the other hand, we will see the Pandavas, they are least insecure actually. They are completely peaceful. We will see that. So what happens after that? Bhishma, he starts the war by blowing the conch shell, right? Ranaberi, we call it in Sanskrit. He blows the conch shell, and the Kauravas also blows the conch shell. And all of them blew conch shell, but that doesn't make that much sound. That doesn't disturb Pandavas at all. And after once they are done with their conch shell blowing, then Pandavas start blowing. Krishna blows first, Krishna's conch shell is what? Panchajanya. You can remember. Krishna's conch shell is Panchajanya. Arjuna's conch shell is Devadatta. Bhima's conch shell is Paundraka. So these are the conch shells. And like that. So when the Pandavas blow conch shell, their conch shell, Krishna's conch shell produces such a tumultuous sound. That sound shatters the hearts of the Kauravas actually. And literally they are like their hearts, I mean to say, they slip away. But the Pandavas, for them, see, the Krishna is closer to Pandavas, right? So ideally, Pandavas should hear the sound more. But the Pandavas don't get disturbed. This is the picture. So the Lord is feared by the demoniac people. For devotees, like for example, Lord Narasimhadev, you see, he is feared by Hiranyakashipu. But for Prahlad, no fear. Right? Prahlad saw him as a father actually. But Hiranyakashipu saw him as death personified. So we can see that now that Krishna's... We'll go in 10 minutes only. You can see that these people are least fearful. Right? So this way... it's very obvious actually in the beginning itself that the symptoms, Sanjaya tells to Dhritarashtra, by the symptoms Pandavas are going to win, Kauravas are going to lose. You can see Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is there, so victory will be there, and Lakshmi Devi is there. So wherever there is Narayana, Lakshmi will follow, right? Lakshmi will always follow Narayana. So Dhana Lakshmi, next Vijaya Lakshmi, Santan Lakshmi, Arogya Lakshmi, and this Kurukshetra, the place is also very auspicious. And we can see Arjuna's chariot was given by Agnidev, and he mentions whoever sits in this chariot, they will never face defeat, right? And most importantly, Arjuna's chariot, is decorated with Lord Hanuman. That is also sign of victory. So Sanjaya says that actually, the victory is obvious for Arjuna, but Dhritarashtra is still, he has hope against hope. Then Arjuna, he talks to Krishna. He tells, my dear Krishna, kindly take me to the place. I want to see the opposite army. I want to know who all wants to die through my arrows. And Krishna takes the chariot and he puts them exactly in front of Bhima, Bhishma and Drona, because Krishna knows very well the weakness of Arjuna's heart. You see, this is a common phenomenon. Many times Lord tests his devotees. We say, Krishna, God, I want to serve you. He says, really? Let me see. I want to see your determination. I want to see your commitment. So he will put you such kind of test, which exactly is your weakness. Lord knows your, even the slightest weakness of yours. And for Arjuna, what is their weakness? Their weakness is the other side actually. And when Arjuna sees his kinsmen, his forefathers, his teachers, and he thinks, oh, these are the people I'm going to fight with. These are the people I'm going to kill. And he becomes utterly disturbed and disappointed. Now the question comes, so we have discussed that Arjuna is a pure devotee. Now, why did Arjuna get so much demoralized? So there is a shloka here, you can see that Arjuna describes about himself. He says, Krishna, my limbs are quivering, his body is shaking, my mouth is drying up, my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, and my hand, the Gandhi was slipping from my hand. And understand, Arjuna's hands are so powerful. For him, losing the Gandiva means losing his life. And he is telling, I am not able to hold the Gandiva bow. I mean to see such a despair, and he is not able to stand. His legs are unable to stand. He sits down actually, collapses on the chariot. And can you imagine, how is it possible? He got carried away with a bodily attachment. Moha. Now we see the Dhritarashtra also same problem, right? Because of the blind attachment, right? Because of blind attachment, he got carried away, and here Arjuna is also blind attachment. But you say Arjuna is a pure devotee. Why is it so? So it is said that actually Arjuna is in full knowledge, but Krishna wants to teach this Bhagavad Gita to the entire world through Arjuna. So he wanted Arjuna to represent a typical common man's mindset who becomes too much attached to the material things. So in this case, Arjuna is attached to his bodily attachments, right? So earlier he is ready to fight and kill, but now that they are his family members, he doesn't want to touch. So Krishna puts Arjuna in illusion, right? Otherwise, Arjuna is in knowledge, but then his spiritual intelligence is taken away by Krishna. He puts him in illusion so that through Arjuna, Krishna can teach Bhagavad Gita to the entire world. And Arjuna here now for the next couple of chapters, Arjuna will be representing a typical sadhaka practitioner like you and me. So Arjuna will be like you and me from moving forward actually. And as a result of that, Arjuna, what he says, he tells 5 reasons because of which he doesn't want to fight. So he has come prepared for fighting, and he knows that to fight is my responsibility, because as a Kshatriya he has to uphold dharma. So there are many reasons are there to fight. But then most important of all reasons is Krishna asked him to fight. Krishna asked him to uplift dharma, and that one reason should be sufficient for him to fight. But still Arjuna, here now he's saying I don't want to fight. So he gives 5 reasons. So what are the reasons he gives? He says first reason he gives is compassion. He says, my dear Krishna, how can I kill so many people? My own army and opposite army, so many people will die, and I'm feeling very sorry to think that they are going to die. Being a noble-hearted person, see, a Vaishnava, he never thinks the harm others did to him, right? He never remembers that, because those people did so much mischief. He has every reason to kill them, but then he is still compassionate because he is a devotee. Second thing, he says, even if I kill them and on their dead bodies I make an empire and sit on the throne, with whom will I enjoy? Even to enjoy, I need my relatives, I need my family members. With them together I will enjoy. If everyone is dying, so with whom I will enjoy actually? So even if from the enjoyment point of view, I will not be able to enjoy by fighting them. And third thing, he says, although they are aggressors means one who does extremely abominable sinful activities. What are those abominable sinful activities? Shastra speaks, there are 6 abominable sinful activities. One thing is feeding poison to somebody. Second thing is trying to kill a person while they are asleep. I mean to say, putting a house into fire. Third thing is attacking from behind by weapons. Fourth one is usurping others' land, usurping others' money, and stealing others' wife. These are the 6 obnoxious sinful activities, and those who do those activities, they are called aggressors. And scripture says, by killing these aggressors, you don't incur any sin. These aggressors can be killed no matter who they are. So that is what scripture says. But Arjuna says, that although they are aggressors, I know that they are aggressors. See, the Kauravas did not do one of the 6. The Kauravas did all the 6. They tried to feed poison to Bhima. They tried to, burn the Lakshagriha while they are sleeping. They tried to attack from behind Abhimanyu and other things. They tried to take over their kingdom, their wealth, and they tried to disrobe Draupadi. Everything they did actually. Not 1 out of 6, but 6 out of 6. So they can be killed, and no, you don't get any sinful reactions. But Arjuna is saying, I will get sinful reactions. You see, because his intelligence is. Last thing he says, destruction of tradition. He says, you say by killing them I will uphold dharma, but I think other way around. Because by killing all the elderly people here, then the traditions, family values will get destroyed, because there are no elderly people. They're all died. Who will take care of the family traditions and values? And secondly, the women will become widows. They will be unprotected. So the mischievous people will exploit them, and they will produce unwanted progeny, unwanted children, Varna Sankara. And because of the Varna Sankara, they will not have any character, any values, and these people will flood the world, and there will be adharma everywhere. And then the family traditions, heritage will collapse, and the forefathers will not get their pindas, and because of which the forefathers also will cry, and the family traditions also will destroy. So the dharma, you are talking of dharma, but actually there will be adharma. So this is what Arjuna is telling. And then Arjuna later says that actually, I spoke all these reasons, but I understand they may not be right also. So I am not able to decide whether I should fight or not fight. So this is Arjuna's confusion. And mind you, Arjuna, as I said, he is extremely talented person, extremely big scholar and everything, but still he is struggling to cope up, right? He's not able to decide what is right for me and what is not right for me. And if this is the case with Arjuna, what about us? In our lives also, we have many confusions. Oh, does God exist? What is the purpose of life? Many times we encounter many things actually. But whom do we take shelter of? We take shelter of internet. We take shelter of Facebook. We take shelter of Quora, scientists, right? So whom should we take shelter of? We should take shelter of the Supreme Lord and the scriptures. So Arjuna, we will see next chapter, he will take shelter of Krishna, because of which he will get a clarity. So this is the situation. So the situation is like this. So the Bhagavad Gita is the greatest literature, and it was spoken from between whom? Krishna and Arjuna. What was the context? The context is in the center of a war, huge war, big war, and there is a confusion in the minds of Arjuna whether fighting is the right thing to do and not fighting is the right thing to do. So people say Bhagavad Gita is if you read Bhagavad Gita, you will become useless guy. But if you see Bhagavad Gita does not promote inaction; it rather promotes action. We will see it next chapter. So this is the context. So the context is such an important context. Here is a person, a hero, and such a person is bewildered and not able to confused, not able to understand what is the right course of action. So then Krishna will give answers. Krishna will address the core of the problem. We will see that next chapter. So tomorrow's chapter is in one sense, the real essence of Bhagavad Gita, but tomorrow's chapter is little difficult to understand compared to other chapters, but we will try. And those of you who have Bhagavad Gita, kindly read once and come to the class, right? So so this is the end of the first chapter. Lessons I have already covered. So these slides I'll cover tomorrow. So here is a summary. Chapter 1, we can see first 12 shlokas speaks about Dhritarashtra's mindset and Duryodhana's mindset. And then we can see the ominous results, which means like Subha Suchikalu, omens. So that all that signs imply that there is a victory for the Pandavas. And later on we saw how Arjuna got bewildered and confused by seeing his own teachers, forefathers and kinsmen, and then he finds reasons to not fight, the 4 reasons. So this is the summary of chapter number 1, right? So now I wanted to speak some couple of announcements. That is, the quiz is compulsory. Every day we'll have a quiz, and if you attentively hear the class, you will be able to attend the quiz. And today I'm supposed to give you the quiz number 1, but I will not be giving due to some technical reasons. The hosting part is not complete. So tomorrow I will be sharing the quiz number 1 and 2 both at a time, and I will be sharing this slide, right, the summary chart. And as I said, every day before the class and after the class, we chant the holy names. You see, yesterday, I meant to say that just the class before this class, one person asked me a question. Prabhu, you are telling that no, the Sanjaya spoke everything what is happening in the battlefield to Dhritarashtra. That means Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. The same Bhagavad Gita Sanjaya must have repeated to Dhritarashtra. I said yes. So Dhritarashtra also had Bhagavad Gita. Yes. But Arjuna got transformed. Dhritarashtra didn't get transformed. Then I replied, the answer is what? The answer is Dhritarashtra did not hear. Then that person asked, but you said Dhritarashtra heard. I said yes. Dhritarashtra heard, but he did not hear also. Why? Because Arjuna heard in the mood of devotion and he surrendered to Krishna. We will see tomorrow's class. So when we hear the spiritual subject matters, right? So the knowledge part, even without surrendering to God, even without praying to God, we can get the knowledge aspect. But the knowledge will become into wisdom and it will become into realization. That happens by mercy. So by chanting the names of the Lord, you will be able to actually your heart, by chanting the names of Lord, your heart will be cleansed and all the spiritual truths will be revealed easily. So this chanting will help you, to understand Bhagavad Gita better, and it also help you to purify our heart. So every day at the end of the class and beginning class we chant. End of the class we chant, just for 2 minutes, right? We only chant some 12 to 15 mantras. And in the beginning of the class also we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So now all of you will all chant together. You see my fingers? So each finger will have 3 numbers, right? So we will chant 6 times, which means 18 mantras. And 18 mantras will take maximum 2 minutes. So we will all chant together. So you can see the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there in this. Okay. So let us chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So this is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I will explain about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra some other time. One thing you should know, when you take a medicine from a doctor, from a physician, so you may not know the composition of the medicine, and you may not know how it works. But if you follow the doctor and you take the medicine will work. Similarly, the chanting of the names of the Lord, Prabhu, is it not something outdated, old-fashioned? People may get different doubts. I'll tell you, my dear friends. So slowly you'll understand. But as I said, even whether you are fully aware of how it works, functionality or not aware, you just trust the physician, that is me, and do it, and you will yourself share your realizations very shortly, right? So now tomorrow, being the second day, you can come some 10 minutes beforehand, so that we can chant little bit before the class. So tomorrow I will be waiting for you at 750, and I request all of you to kindly join the class, right? So now, if anyone has, actually we are 10 minutes late, but kindly understand, because of power cut there is some interruption. So if anyone asks, okay, somebody saying he was about to ask the same question, but I already clarified. So my way of speaking is that I put questions and I answer myself. For your information, some of you may be thinking, Prabhuji, how did he conclude Krishna is God? How did he conclude Bhagavad Gita scripture is authority? What is the proof? So sometimes we have some basic question. Are you sure really God exists? I'm not sure about that. If any one of you have any of these questions, I want Prabhuji, can we have an open discussion about that? Let us say if you have any of these questions. I would say we have recently undertook a session, 7-session course, Journey of Self-Discovery. That session, we have covered topics like, does God exist? Who am I? And why should I trust scriptures? Why bad things happen to good people? How is scripture relevant in this day and age? These are the topics we have covered vastly and interactively, in a 7-session course. So if anyone is interested, they can refer to that. It is available in ISKCON Vijayawada YouTube channel, right? So I will also share that channel. All of you can go through that actually. That will, if somebody wants, they can take advantage of that course. Otherwise, if you're sure that Prabhu, I'm fully convinced, then wonderful. You can just carry on with these classes, right? So tomorrow we'll see at 6:50 and session number 2, right? Thank you very much.